Welcome to Kickstarter Radio 102.4. And when I was on my holiday, I put a video out. It was a little game, and the game was to spend $1,000 on late backing, where you could only pledge for the full pledge, the all-in pledge, and see which games you would have picked, with the only caveat that you couldn't back something either you've backed or you have $1 pledged, where you'll be backing for more. So this time the game is going to be way more difficult, at least for me, who's a bit of a snob and usually doubles down and goes on the all-in. And you're only going to be able to buy the retail pledge, minimum pledge. As some games just don't have retail pledge because they're crowdfunding only. Right, so let's see if there's going to be enough here. This is going to be hard, isn't it? And you got $1,000, so we'll go $1,000 again. All right, Dragon Eclipse. I don't know which ones of these. Standard edition, is that the cheapest? You get 4 boxes for $55. Really? You get the core box, stretch goal box, the roguelite mode, and the PvP mode. That's a lot of content for $55, isn't it? Wow! Right, and I guess if you're not into minis and you don't want tons of content until you've played the game, maybe that's something. Dragon Eclipse is definitely on my radar. So that could be one. Why is it not going back? Game found. I've got to keep pressing these buttons. Filter. It needs to be late pledge, yeah, and it needs to be popular. Okay. Now the Elder Scrolls, if I remember that, it's just. I'm just going to bring these into things like this so I can do it quickly for you. If I remember correctly, the base game was a lot here, wasn't it? Base game. So the minimum pledge on this one's $195. Oh my goodness me! And if you put the other stuff on it, it's just the expansion, isn't it? You could definitely get a lot here for just this. That's. And, that includes shipping as well, so there's potential there. Although I do have Icefaring Guard, and that's the true Elder Scrolls game, in my opinion, so. Now, Dante, that's definitely something else I got very excited about, so let's jump to Dante. 447. The core. How much is the core? This is something I just don't know. Is that at 99? There's a lot in it. Ooh, 447 or 99. Right, so that's quite a lot of content for the minimum. Wow, so. If you'd asked me, I would say Kickstarter's got very expensive, but for a minimum pledge of 99, that's pretty impressive. Isn't it? Wow! Holy smokes. So these first 3. Dante's pretty cheap. Dragon Eclipse is fairly cheap. Elder Scrolls is still expensive, isn't it? But that's absolutely wow. Now, Beast, I know has a minimum pledge, but I can't play Beast without, standees. I can't have those normal retail standees. That's just too much for me. So I can kiss my backside. All right, come on then. God of War. Let's have a look at you, Mr. Expensive. It didn't make $1 million, this game. Ouch. Okay, let's see what the rewards were. 70 is the base. There's a lot of boxes in the 240. So So if you just want the base box, you know, that's going to come out at retail, isn't it? We know this with CMON. And you'll probably get it at the same price without the shipping that CMON charge you. So that's another path. That's something I wouldn't go for. So at the minute, Dante and Dragon Eclipse. Food Chain, that's a really old retail that came out, blah, blah, blah. Just looking at these, I know what they are, I'm not interested in them. Your path might be different down here, and you've probably already picked a few that I've not picked. It's going to be a lot. Let's have a look at Eos Trespass Odyssey. Right. In fact, there's something if you didn't know. Rob Oren, on his channel, he recently did Which Game to Keep between Kingdom Death Monster, Aeon Trespass, and Primal Awakening. It's a great video. It really is a great video. There you go, just to highlight him. So there's 2 pledges. Wow. Is that the cheapest? Ooh. 128. This is your starter into the world of Aeon Trespass. That's not too bad actually, because it is a super intimidating game to want to get, isn't it? You just get too much content at once. Right, so that could be interesting just to get your feet into Aeon Trespass Odyssey. I'm guessing they're going to go to either another Kickstarter or they're either going to go to a web shop. They might go. The Odyssey Pledge, which gives you cycles 1 to 3, and they've got cycles 4 to 6. Is that correct? Let me just have a quick look. I don't know. I've completely lost my path with this game, but I'll tell you now, trying to ignore all the other stuff, that's not a bad one to go for, is it? What is it? Oh, it's 128. All right, so that could be an interesting low pledge one. But you know, when you go low pledge though, and you know you're missing a lot of content, at least with Aeon Trespass, there is going to be I don't know, 80-hour campaign, isn't there, in cycles 1 to 3. That's a lot of content still. And then the other stuff is like super pimping it out by updating the map and stuff and getting a ton of minis, and you know, so potentially that could be an interesting one. Now, Guards of Atlantis, have a look at you. You're like the true MOBA game. What's your cheap pledge? 75. That's not bad, is it? Hey, that's not bad. If you don't know what this is, it's a MOBA style game where it's basically PvP, but it's team versus team. You've all got unique set of heroes, unique set of abilities. It's really, 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 really fascinating. But the fascination of this game for me was the fact that if this is the base box, right? You've got level 1 meaning easy, and you've got 1 kind of medium complexity in this box. And if you go for the 2 hero packs, which are new, but they've got 5 hero packs, so you're adding a huge roster. A huge roster! You're kind of missing this roster. But, you know what? It actually takes multiple playthroughs to actually learn these characters. So that might not actually be bad as a base game, actually. 75! I think that would be a fantastic minimum pledge. Wow! Wow! You could be getting some absolute bangers here. $1,000 minimum pledge gets you a lot, peeps. Now, Heroes Land and Sea. You know, all that extra content is kind of stuff you'll be playing, won't it? You're kind of making that bigger. I'm not going to look at that. Now, Perseverance, I've got 2 feet in that. I can't really talk about that. And plus, you can't really buy 1 and 2 knowing there's 3 and 4 out. That's kind of like too much. It's too much of a loss. Now, Horizon, this is one I picked when we went full pledge. Let's have a look at you on the minimum. It's 117. Hey, that's not bad. That is not bad. You're getting a lot of game for that. Full campaign book. The upgrade pack is in there with some miniature expansions. That's not bad at all. If you consider the other stuff, oh my god, look at all that stuff. This game's gonna be the bomb, isn't it? Oh, look at all that. 200. It's so much value. They have added more content, but by the way, you know, while you're waiting for this, there is more content been added. Man, 117, that's a fantastic, that's going to be a great pledge. Oh my goodness. Damn, man. Now, I am backed on Mountains of God Ice, so I can't really talk about that, but that would be incredible. Just to get 1 box would give you plenty of gameplay. It totally would be. Now, Spiritfire. Ooh, this is the risky one, total risky one. You could just put 99 on there and be a happy camper, ignoring all of the upgrade kit, because this whole pledge is upgrading stuff like sleeves and components and booster packs and all that stuff. But, big but, could you go minimum pledge on this, knowing that these extra packs, like extra quests, extra characters, companions at a new area, the slabs. Oh man, you just couldn't go min pledge without the all-in gameplay. That would hurt too much. I'm sorry, Spiritfire. No. And it's too much of a risk. I'll wait for your Kickstarter. I need review. That's super secret. All right. Under Our Sun, I went for this if it was the big pledge. Let's have a look. We actually have it all in here. Let's go. This is in here waiting to strike, isn't it? When I come to pay for it, but 85, no, 67. You lose some characters, potentially minis. You don't get the dice, so you lose some minis and extra characters. And the mat. What's the mat? Let's have a look at the mat. Is the mat too much to step away from? They're not really showing you a picture of it. I guess you could do without a mat. I think that's a potential one there. Core Pledger, 67. I think we've got another one. Great one. Wow. Right, okay, Flow, you're definitely one I picked. Could I downgrade the pledge and would I be happy with the low pledge? I am planning on pledging for this, by the way, but the low pledge is the 72, is that right? The cheapest one is 72. Do you know, this is Arcadia. I'm saying Arcadia. It's what they call Fantasia that are doing this, isn't it? It's the Fantasia line. And they do amazing playmats. I don't think I could pledge for this without the playmat, and it's super cheap. I mean, look, it's 17 bucks for a playmat, and I can't get it because I'm going minimum pledge. That would be too much sacrifice. Sorry, Flo. Too much of a sacrifice. Oh. Alright, Singularity. That's the 1 versus 1. Fantastic characters and standees, right? Let's have a look at the minimum pledge. The all-in character box with play mats. Oh, you go 55 for the little box. Oh. Oh, there's a co-op, actually. That's interesting. I didn't know there was a co-op edition. Yeah, because if you don't get the playmat, it's essentially just a card game. And when you get the playmat, you get the standees to fight. It so much becomes a board game with the upgrade. So the minimum pledge leaves it as a card game. That is too much of a sacrifice. Can't do you. Sorry. Witchbound. I keep talking about that when I do this. Witchbound is absolutely fantastic. All right, Tabletop Inc. This is a worker placement of making a board game company. This is an interesting... Whoa! 45 bucks! It's actually pounds sterling, isn't it? Jesus, man. That's super cheap, isn't it? What are you missing? The deluxe box, card sleeves, wooden tables and metal coins. What's the deluxe box? It's the wooden easels, trophies, acrylic standees. How many people have gone for that base box? Is it not saying? It's probably 0, isn't it? Because the whole the whole point of this is taking the piss out of us Kickstarter people, isn't it? That go heavy in on these games. But there is the little 45 one. There's no way you could not play this game. It's like a Euro game, but you've got 3D components like easels to put your game titles out and stuff like that. That'd be too much. You'd be losing far too much. Right, we're going to keep going. Stone Saga. I've got 2 feet on that. That could be interesting to go with the low pledge on Stone Saga, but you'll be missing big gameplay components like crafting, cooking, and stuff like that. Stone Saga. It's an incredible next generation game, though. Could you do it on the G? It's like dangerous listening to the developers when they do these campaigns, because you learn so much about the expansions and stuff, and it just sells you that. There's like the the vision of the designer, and if you don't get it, you're kind of all out of it, right? Eve, I'm 2 foots in that, but you could definitely if you go for the 4 times bigger EVE Online for $400, you cannot get the upgrade for the Titan super ships. So you've just got to live with that. But if you go for the retail pledge of whatever it is in EVE, and you can get the Titan ships, there's no way you could be happy on the minimum pledge. It's nuts, that. It really is nuts. Anyway, that's not going to happen. I don't think so. If you know anything about EVE Online, to build those Titan ships is the dream ticket. As soon as you've built one of them, you're either going to win, or it's going to be Titan versus Titan, the biggest battle in the game. It's just too good. Ooh, let's have a look at Irune. Now, I did say, look at this core heroic L and D. Light and Darkness uses an app, has incredible character leveling, subclasses, heroic classes, prestige classes. Like, the development is so good. But I don't know, I just can't get over this kind of LGBT colouring of all these components. I would be instantly spraying these if I got them, just to get away from it being so gregarious. Alright, let's have a look what the minimum pledge is for this. The minimum pledge is an expansion. You can't get the base box. Come on, you can't buy an expansion. So you're coming in here and you can't get... Wow. And look, you can only get the base and the expansion here, which is called the core. You can't select the core. That's pretty bad, isn't it? The more times I visit this campaign, the more alluring it is. I might have to do a video on this because I think I'm secretly in love with this game. €300 all in. It's just the incredible character. It's really... If Dungeons and Dragons did a Kickstarter, this would be it. It would totally be it. Because it's got all the branching level ups of the classes, to subclasses, to prestige classes. It's just epic. Of course, it's got all those minis that D&D, you'd be charge a bomb to get all of them. Oh, you know, this for me is D&D in a box. It's just fantastic. You know, you don't know what the loot's going to be in the rooms, do you? It's kind of on the app that tells you what you're going to get when you open the chest. It kind of keeps it all secret. It's kind of really cool. Oh my goodness me. That's so alluring and at the same time fascinating that there's no low pledge for it. What are you getting for this anyway? Core box. This is just for me, by the way. This is an aside of the game, by the way. You get the expansion then, which is Light and Darkness. You get the playmat, put all the stuff out. Fantastic. Dice tray, tokens, dice set, the map of the world. The Dragon Hunt expansion box sounds glorious. The Heroic Edition, which updates cards of the Rune, core game and Heroic. That sounds like an update pack, doesn't it? These super close-up shots make it look fantastic. I think it's this blown-out version of it which is egregious, but when you get in close, it looks awesome. And look, it's got that D&D writing stuff down. I mean, just look at this character here. He was an archer, became a mage archer, then became a druid and a sharp shooter. So look how his character has developed as he played this game. Oh! Oh my god, I'm going to have to make a note of a rune and it's going to have to jam into the top of my list. I'm going to leave it there for posterity. I might have to back a rune, peeps. I keep saying I've got enough dungeon crawlers, but in all my dungeon crawler games, I don't have anything that's Dungeons and Dragons orientated, and Irune comes as close to that as possible. If I do a love letter on Irune, it's because of this video. This game I'm playing, and I keep looking at this game, and I'm just fascinated by it. Twisted Fables, we'll have a look at you, we'll have a look at you. Yes, this is another game where you're 1 versus 1, heroes versus heroes, but in this version of it, it's... You're all... what's it called? You know, bedtime story people. You know, you've got like Snow White, Little Red Riding Hood. You've got all them in it. What's the minimum pledge? Dude, there's only one pledge. There's only one kind of pledge. Oh, and then you show me the playmats. No. You know, as a minimum pledge, that's got a ton of stuff in, hasn't it? That's really good value. Holy crap! Alright, we're going to stick Twisted Fables in. We're getting put a rune over here. Sorry, yeah, a rune over there. Twisted Fables, yeah, you definitely get my tick award thing. Children of Mortar. I played that video game. Really good game on the PC. Action adventure. Each hero got their own thing. This is like a real lightweight game, though. It's not anything exciting. I'm just... I'm kind of brutal, aren't I? We're getting down now to the stuff that's not popular. Waste Nights. I think that's closed. Are we at the closed bottom bit? Let me have a quick look. I think this one is 100% closed. Yes. Okay, peeps. We went for the minimum pledges, and we went for... Could we get the calculator, please? Din, 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 din. Dante, 99, and a great pledge at that. Great content. That is... Ignore what's coming with Dante. That is an alluring minimum pledge. Oh my god. Dragon Eclipse, 55. Just ignore the content. You've got so much in the boxes there. My god. This is the surprising one for me is Aeon Trespass Odyssey, coming in at 128. I think some of these are merging between dollars and stuff like that. Is that right? Let me have a quick look. Dollar, euro. We'll just ignore that. Just ignore that to make the game a little bit easier. But that's an interesting low pledge just coming in and not upgrading it with all this and expansions and stuff like that. At the end of the day, the whole concept of minimum pledge is that you just want a bite size of the original game and the other stuff is just kind of tacked on, you might think, or not needed. That's kind of apt, isn't it? Guardians of Atlantis. Yeah. Oh my god, man, this is just so good. Forbidden Horizon. Let's go to that. Choose awards again. 117. That is the minimum. It is the minimum. Right, Under the Sun, 67. That's a nice one. Post-apocalyptic, fantastic game. And Twisted Fables on 69. Let's go to Under Our Sun and just sit on this, shall we? What's in the base game? Look at this. Beautiful art. Standees, unique map tiles making it different. Oh man. And this is all in your minimum pledge. Well, peeps, we managed 610. I think when you do the currency conversion, it might be jumping up to like 750, something like that. But I didn't hit 1,000. That was kind of surprising that I couldn't get that. So just a quick recap then. Dante Inferno, Dragon Eclipse, Aeon Trespass Odyssey, Guards of Atlantis 2, Horizon Forbidden West, Under Our Sun, and Twisted Fables. That's not bad, is it? 7 games within budget, peeps. 7 games. That's averaging $90 per game. And look at all those fantastic games you'll have. But the problem is, would you be happy on minimum pledges? Oh. First of all, please play this game. I'm really interested to know what minimum pledges that you would have got. because I couldn't really focus on the stuff that I'm backing. So, you know, you might pick those. I'm interested to see if you do pick those that you didn't pledge and stuff like that. I'm just super curious which ones you got to. Please tell me your budget, you know. Tell me your budget in total. That'd be great. And all that stuff. And if you want to play the other game, I'll link that in the description of this video. And you can play the game of $1,000 where you can only do the big pledge. And trust me, I think I only got 4 games on that one. Maybe 5, I can't remember. And there's a little bit of crossover. There is totally crossover that you'll find out when you look at that video. So yeah, pretty surprising, pretty difficult. I think you might have been able to see my pain when I looked to see what you would have missed, and that's kind of the posh geek inside me, isn't it? That's doing that, and I just can't get past that. That's just a personality thing. And but for you might completely be able to see over that stuff and just go for these minimums. And yeah, I'm super curious what you picked, peeps. Because the games that I've picked here, just alluring, isn't it? It's like, imagine getting these boxes and not knowing stuff is out there for them. You know, the expanded stuff. Because then you'll have played all the stuff, and then if they ever do a Kickstarter again, you can get all the content that you missed going in on the minimum. But having said that, there's not many Kickstarters I've gone all in on, and I've not had buyer's remorse. All the stuff I normally get gets used. I'm pretty savvy when it comes to that. I haven't ever backed a CMON game, so you know, I'm not getting a lot of fluffy boxes that are just sitting out there. You know what I mean? But yeah, this has been quite fun. When I was on my holiday, I actually was thinking about this. It kind of popped into my head. Imagine if I did it with minimum pledges, and I thought that'd be a really tough game, because doing the full pledge game was really easy to get up to $1,000, but this one really difficult. So yeah, let me know what your that you picked in the game of minimum pledges, and some of them bit surprising how big the minimum pledge was when you look at Eos Trespass Odyssey. Let's just do a recap of the prices again. A super cheap $99, $55, even cheaper. Very high $128, nice and low $75. Getting expensive, $117. 67, nice and low. And 69. Some bangers there for low for the minimum pledge. Wow, peeps, wow. Let me know what you picked. Jesus, Holy Mary and Joseph, that is a lot of games. And remember, if you back late pledge, you get to see a lot of updates, right? You can see a ton of updates that has been going on the progress, and you can see where it is, and hopefully you can see how much the shipping is going to be as well. It's a bit more transparent when it's on late pledge, isn't it? So on that bombshell, yeah, I think I'm going to look at Irune, Light and Darkness, and I might do a love letter video explaining why it's at the top of my list to get when there's a quiet month. And come on, it's been quiet, hasn't it, Kickstarters the last couple of months? So who knows, I might be picking that one up. Because at the end of the day, these games that we've looked at now, the late pledges will be closing sooner than the other stuff that I've looked at this year, right? Because a lot of this stuff is yesteryear, right? So all the games I've kind of covered this year, I feel like you'll be able to late pledge them in 2025, and it's these ones that are closing down. So there's kind of a more of a get in there when you can feel. But anyway, I guess that's another video talking about that. Anyway, there you go, peeps. I hope you've enjoyed this little game. And yeah, I'll leave the link of the other game down below. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please give the video a like. Please leave your comments, of course, and think about subscribing. I've been your host, Lipstickpaddy. This is Kickstarter Radio 102.4. You take care and stay safe. Bye for now.